on your dishing and truing. Let's see whether or not you got it right, which gives me the opportunity to actually demo what's going on below the screen here all the time. So I'm going to put this one back in. There with this. There we go. A couple of nuts on. I'll walk over there if space allows. I usually just tension it a bit to the top because there isn't at this 27-inch wheel an awful lot of space at the bottom there, and I just wanted to run against my flappies and not against the frame of the truing stand. Okay, so this is what happens when we turn the wheel. You can see it's running next to these green flappies that I made adjustable. So I'm going to move on over until it reaches the wheel there. And so what you can hear all the time is just where the wheel is running against one side. This one doesn't seem to have lost, by the sounds of it, an awful lot of its screwing. It's running near enough everywhere against that flappy, so I'm guessing that's going to be less than half a mil. And this side here, for good measure, bash myself in the head with it. There you go. So here we go again. Okay, I obviously didn't get it close enough. So that will make a different sound from the other side. Probably because the screw hole is a bit in a different place in respect to each other. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking down, is to see. And then if you pick it up at a point here where it starts to make a noise, then you know which spoke it is. You have to either tighten to pull it a bit over that way towards this thing, or the other one to move it away from the flappy that's making contact. So that's what's happening there. Just checking the other side here. So that's on. So a tiny wobble, really, 1 millimeter. The other thing you can also check that you do is the up and down wobble. So these ones you can slide them underneath there. I'm going to give them a little swing. And that's just the left side here. I'll just pull it off, making noise. So now you can hear the bottom one. Again, that's probably less than a millimeter. That's not worth bothering about. So what you should do is tighten the wheel over, and because the wheel is relatively straight already, the tension would be okay on these spokes. What you do then is release the ones that are going here by about the same amount as that we tighten them going on this side. That should move the whole thing over. About half a turn will be about 2-3 millimeters, so that seems fair amount. Now, these things have never been loosened, so, and they're not stainless steel, so I'm going to get a problem moving some of these nipples here. It doesn't look like any of them have become rusty inside. That would even be worse. So we'll see how it goes. If I find the right nipple key. So here's the valve hole. I'll work this way here. This one here is going to that side. We're going to pull it over that side because the pin is too far over. So when we pull it over, the rim and the pin should move this way. So I'm just going to tighten it in half a turn. What I'll do is I feel the spoke to see if the spoke is turning. Because sometimes if the nipple and the spoke have a lot of resistance between each other, then when you turn the nipple, the spoke actually turns with it, and you get a torsion in the spoke. So instead of actually shortening up, or it will shorten up a bit, once you release that tension again, if you go over a hump, or as I will show you in a minute, you should release the tension on the wheel, then it will turn back. The spoke will lengthen out, you put it back in your stand, and you've got your wobble back. So what I'll do is I feel and see if it's actually moving or not. So the other thing with this one here, I see which way it's facing, so I know if I turn it half a turn, it should be facing that way, but half turn on. Let's see what happens. I can feel it turning, twisting already under my fingers. This is not going to go good. So I'm going to loosen it first to see if it can break the corrosion between the nipple and the spoke. So I'm loosening it half turn. You can feel here where it's turning. And I'm going to go back, to the original position, he said. Oh, it's already stripping the thread here of the nipple. It is not good. So this was about the original position, but it's already stripping the thread. My tool is probably not of the highest quality. So what I probably should do is loosen the other side first before I do anything else. So I'm going to loosen all the ones on this side by about half turn. So I'm going to have to overshoot it a bit here because I can feel that the tension is on the spoke. Some people use little flags on the spoke, and that will show you whether or not the spoke is moving. Let's see if I've got a bit of tape here somewhere. There we go. With tape. Let's put it there. No. That's all preparation for your video. There you go, a bit of parcel tape. Just want a little flag. Get away. Here. So I had arrived at this one, the second one up. And so I'll put a flag on, waving it this way. Yeah. That's actually a bit too high, it will get in the way of my demonstration. Okay. One load of faffing. So if you want a wheel, it saves you the world to just buy one. Yeah. A little flag sort of pointing in the direction there. So this one I was going to loosen, so turn the nipple out clockwise up. So this one again, it's sitting at about 5 degrees. So as you can see, which I usually feel, is that the flag there will move. So it means that actually then until it's sprung back, the thread was actually not moving, and if it released that tension, the thing will just go back to its own position. So need about here. So sometimes you have to turn it back a little bit if you can feel the tension. Take tension off it, so that in this case, this flag here is pointing that way. the next one up. ZI. Okay, this one actually turned. Yeah, there's not much tension on this spoke, so it seems that also factory wheels have uneven spoke tension. That one has a lot more tension. I usually go on a little bit and then turn it back again, so I can feel that the spoke is back in its original position. Thereabouts. Okay. Meanwhile, keeping an eye out for the valve hole to appear again. This one is also being stripped already. It's a big problem if you strip them, because you'd have to remove them completely and then guess back sort of which or how much tension you should be putting on it. And sometimes while you're also trying to remove a wobble out of the wheel, it makes the job 3 times as hard. And it hurts your fingers as well if the thing springs back, so you see me making faces. That's because my fingers are being smacked by this spoke. Some people say that if you're lacing building wheel from the start, then put a bit of grease on it, which I think I did in my second demo here. Although the stainless steel, this one is having a lot of tension. Okay, so it's this position. Yeah. Can try and see what the old on that way.